Welcome, 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 everyone, to the Women's Empower Network. I am so thrilled and excited to have to spotlight another amazing author. And Kate is absolutely an amazing woman, an amazing individual, and her life story is something else. So, without further ado, Kate, tell the people your name, what you do, and a little bit about yourself.
Well, you know what I'm going to tell you? Good morning from the Princess of the Prairie. This is Des Moines, Iowa, and it is a gorgeous fall day. So thanks for being here. Okay. And yep, I'm Katie Kaplan. I am a mother of twin daughters that I adopted when I was 42 years old. Yep, get that number, 42. Little late in the game, but really blessed to have twins. I went to an agency and said, do you ever have twins? And they said, we haven't had twins in 18 years. Now,
Oh,
these are
wow.
twins that I prayed for from the time I was 11 years old out of my grandmother's prayer books. 31 years to the day. And I had twin girls. Yeah, I was like, oh my God. It was incredible. First time. So, my story has been a wealth of life experiences and adventures. Grew up with great parents, no emotional support per se in regards to if my mother hadn't touched me or held me, I would not have known touch. But that was the time frame, seen and not heard. Everybody had to, uh, you know, um, be the perfect little child in front of everyone. And boy, I got that down pat. I was really good at that. But I also was really good to know how to play on the other side and not get caught. That was the beauty of it. Yeah. So life was pretty good. Life was pretty good, but it was lonely. I didn't know a lot I was really pretty naive growing up. And then I'll tell you that mental illness, my one daughter, um, when she turned 3, developed um, schizophrenia, and they called it schizophrenia effect. And it's very rare for early onset. She was 3 years old. So I had been married, and I now was a single mother, divorced, 2 children, 2 dogs, and 23 demons living in a house. It was on fire. I didn't even know what anxiety was. I didn't even know what depression was. And you know what? It hit me like a brick, and I just started running. And that's what I did for the next 20 years. Ran and was more driven into my own strengths than I had ever been in my entire life. And today, my children are independent. Yep, we still got some moments in there that are doing little twisties, but they aren't as bad because I don't live with them. But they're great girls in their own right. And my other daughter suffers from anxiety and depression. It's manageable, but the anxiety is really tough. And but she's married and has 2 children, and is a chef and now training to be a personal group exercise instructor. So you go, girl. So it's great. Mhm.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And
Mhm.
and just that little bit, we know that there's a wealth of knowledge and
Mhm.
wisdom that you've cultivated just in having to live that role that you've been playing for the last, what, they're in their mid 20s now?
They're 29, going to be the 30, the big one in February. But I kind of felt like being in a wagon trying to cross Iowa because there was so little. I had no help. Nobody knew what schizophrenia was about. Um,
Especially back then.
yeah, well, you make me sound like I'm in the dark ages, but no, nobody knew about it. And you know what? I was begging, and at that point in time, I had money to be able to reach out and do and to pay. Today I don't, but then I did, and it was God Love Menninger Clinic down in Houston and Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville, Florida, that really gave me the gift to believe and to have answers.
Wow.
Yep. Otherwise, Iowa, my saying was driving across Iowa in a covered wagon it was desperate. It was lonely. It was dirty. It was ugly. There wasn't anything about it. And you got tired of faking it and living alone in it. So, and that's what you do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This is going to be an incredible story for our readers. That let me just say that.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. What made you say yes to be in this book and be part of this project?
Well, you know what? I don't know that the yes was exciting. I had tried to write a book earlier with a ghostwriter, but the topic, I mean, Jenny, the topic is like, hello, it's schizophrenia. And, it's a huge umbrella with so many different facets to it. And you came along and said a chapter, and I thought, oh, maybe I can do that. And for the longest time, I would write something and then I'd have to chip it away and I'd think, what? But you know what? It gave me so much value in my own life to really hunker down into un petite words and be able to find the flavor of me. I mean, I really came out with the confidence that it took me to do the things that I had done, to live with my girls that I'm really proud of. You know what? I spent everything I had. I don't have any money. I'm living check to check. But I'm living it with pride. They can go on and function independently. And I have a wealth of people that I've interviewed along the way that are schizophrenic and bipolar, doctors, nurses, vets, mothers, all of it, sons, whatever. And you know what, they aren't able to do a lot of that. But the fascinating part is when you do meet someone, when we've had these experiences, and I don't care whether it's divorce or marriage or babies, whatever, there's this bosom buddy thing that goes, yeah, I'm in. They get me. Do you know how long it's been to say friends didn't get me? I was so thinking that I was being such a great performer to go out and try and be funny, and I was so angry. I was just it was a very weird thing. So saying yes to this chapter, I'm telling you, it brought me, I've always had faith, but it brought me such a wonderful resilience beyond the resilience that I had. So I thank you.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I found that too, where it's kind of like you stand above yourself
Yeah.
when and you're witnessing, as you're telling your story, you're witnessing your own story and like, well, that's pretty damn cool. I
It's a
did those things.
and that's a good way to look at it. You're standing above yourself. Because I don't know where, trust was not spoken of when I was growing up. And this just hit me a little bit ago. And I knew I did I trust I just knew I always had a home and there was something safe there, although I wasn't really, didn't know who I was and all kinds of things growing up. But the one time that I knew my father's, I could trust my father until the day I die, was I was jumping out of a plane, the tandem thing.
Yeah,
And everybody met, all the family met down there. I was just engaged. Now, this is really something pretty funny. And I don't know if I should say it, but I'm going to just because it's true. I had just gotten engaged and to the girl's daddy, and there was going to be a little leeway time for me to be in training. And so they all wanted to go to McDonald's and get coffee. We were out in the middle of nowhere. It was cold. And everybody, my husband at the time said to me, do you want me to hold your ring? Now that's funny, don't you think? I'm going up. He's worried about the ring, not the girl. Yeah. So it was I know, isn't that funny? See, isn't that funny? It's like, what? Anyway, so my daddy was the only one who stayed behind to listen to the training. So he would know exactly what I was thinking about on my way down, fluttering, like, okay, Katie, pull the string. But he was the only one that stayed there and listened to the training. So that's when I knew that was the guy I loved. Yep, my papa. Isn't
that's
that funny?
amazing.
Isn't that funny
That
about the husband thing? I think he's in heaven, so I don't even care. But anyway, I don't know if he's in
that's
heaven, but anyway, he's up there.
so so what's the title of this chapter in the book?
How I found myself, how I found me. And it's exactly the way it was. It was mental illness gave me the opportunity to focus on everything that I couldn't find, that I was spraying and praying for in my life, trying to find myself. The gift of mental illness in my life was to bring me home to me and to
Can you
give
tell us
myself,
more? What does that mean to you?
well, it gave me a diagnosis. It gave me something to pinpoint that I had to look at every single day and draw from within myself how to fix it, how to find it, how to cure it, how to reach out, how to contact, what to look for over here, how to find uh, places to go, how to ask. I didn't always know how to ask. I was always the one who just, performed and was a caregiver for everybody. I didn't think I was
Wow.
smart enough to ask the right questions back then. Isn't that funny how that happens? You think everybody's smart, everybody has a talent, but you just got to ask them and then find out. Oh, I've had some wonderful conversations with people I've interviewed talking about that during the mental illness days. But yep, it just gave me the opportunity to draw myself out, which I never had before, being a mama bear. Never.
Right. And find out. Yeah, it was like you becoming through that experience
Yep.
and finding out your superpower.
Yeah.
That
And I don't have
that was
I don't have to be insecure about anything anymore. I don't care what people think of me. You know what? I've got the grit and I can wear it with pearls or I can wear it in boots. Whatever you want.
so. What would a reader take away from if you could share? I know you could share a lot of things, but just one or two things that they could take away from your chapter. What would it be? What would you like them to take away from it?
Faith. Just to continue that every challenge is a path on faith and that you're going to be able to fulfill the gifts you've been given and put on this earth for. Because when I look back in mental illness, I could see how all of this was prepping me in my independence to be what I needed to be for my children.
Wow.
I've been kidnapped. A man tried to abduct me to put me in his car. I've been in a major airplane crash. The thrill wasn't going to therapy afterwards. We went to McDonald's because we got paid $3 from the airlines. Taking the guy to court, I caught him. Taking the guy to court, I didn't go to therapy afterwards. They didn't believe in therapy. Then you were really nutty. We got paid $3.95 to go to court, and we went to McDonald's. So I buried all of that, whatever it was, but it gave me gut instinct. And gut instinct and faith are going to take you so far. But you just got to be able to find the place to trust it. And that was it. So trust, faith, yeah.
And action and
Yep.
taking action from that
Yep.
gut, what
Yep.
it's telling you. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's incredible.
Yep.
That's why I'm excited for the younger generation because I feel like they are learning this so much younger than you and I did.
In what
Um,
fashion? In what fashion are you talking about? They're learning. Because I think a lot of
because
people query that.
because they can stand on, I mean, for my own children, they stand
Yeah.
on my shoulders.
Yeah.
Um, because I gave them two things. I gave them one, I gave them what, and because you and I were raised the same way, same
Yeah.
generation,
Protocol
there's a
first.
theme,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I gave them what I needed most, you know, um, which is positive reinforcement
Yeah.
that they mattered, that I was grateful that they were there, that they had a voice,
Mm-hmm.
they could be seen and heard. And
Mm-hmm.
then I also trained them to be um, men. I didn't do their bidding for them. If they wanted something, I would instruct them on, okay, well, this is how you do it. You go up to the lady and you ask her XYZ.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't do it for them. They're quite resourceful, independent men,
Yep.
very nice men. So yeah,
And isn't
but
that a thrill? Very nice men. You raised good men. Wonderful.
yeah, well, part of it, I think they came that way too, but I just didn't.
Oh, I know, but you know what? No, they come, but men are trained. Young girls are trained in their own way and they flourish however they want to. But there's got to be some substance in the baseline.
They're very respectful,
Yeah,
and
that's a treat.
yeah, yeah, because that's a whole nother conversation.
Call me Monday.
I know, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, what's next for you on this journey now that
Well,
you're sharing your story?
well, I have spoken independently on many occasions regarding mental illness and schizophrenia and being a mother, because I really wasn't a mother. I was the caregiver for an illness for
Yeah,
20 some odd years. And I think that, we forget I had a loss as well, a major loss, not to have the children be able to do all the things that I wanted to do and be the mother that I wanted to be. Uh,
right.
so now, being the caregiver, I have been able to speak to people and be able to, um, through what their needs are at this moment, what their wishes are and what their goals are, not behind in all of the things that a therapist would do. I've been able to go out and help people develop new habits and new disciplines to enhance the life that they want to have going forward.
And now that your kids are on
So
the other
speaking,
side of it, and yeah, it's being able to travel because I
yeah,
remember you saying one time you wanted to get an RV and travel around the country and do
I had a
speaking and training.
and when I meet people, I had a very colorful RV that is in part of the handbooks that I give people when I'm speaking. They're just little handbooks in my RV. The initial one is on there. I used to get kicked out of RV places because they thought I was some hippie out of San Francisco in the 80s. It was so colorful, and but the interesting part was it was so inviting to bring people into me wherever I was parked. And yeah, so traveling in an RV and being able to speak is my goal, to bring people into my life and share and help them develop where they want to go and how to do it.
That's
Just supporting
beautiful.
them. Just supporting them. That's my passion going forward. I've had a great life and been able to persevere and come out where I want to come out. And now I want people to know they can do the same thing. So here's the caregivers. I have from all backgrounds. I have a company where I've placed caregivers for 30 years in people's homes. I've dealt with or worked with Alzheimer's, and there isn't much we haven't seen in caregiving. So it's across the board: elders, children, disabilities, grandparents, all of it, mental illness.
And we were talking about this before we came online,
Yeah.
is it something, was it, predestined that you're
Yeah.
going to be a caregiver? Was it your circumstances, or was it something that you chose? And I feel like more now than at any time in history, there are more men and women having
Mm.
to be caregivers
Yeah.
than ever before. Um, I hear some of the statistics of just children born with autism and the
Oh,
full spectrum of that.
my daughter has two children with autism. They're 4 and 3 years old, and it's if I thought I had it tough, my girls could function in public. These little ones are still on the learning curve, and one is high functioning, they say. But caregiving, yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. It is across the board the topic when speaking that people are really drawn to, because whether you're taking care of your parents, and
Right.
I have sometimes a tough time when they're talking about my parents are stubborn. Well, you know what? Let them be. You know what? I don't want to go out of there. I'm scared to death. they were so patient in a lot of our growing up years that, you know what, it's their due. They've given us a great life in this world. We got to pay it forward and honor them. And they do. Caregivers are very, but it's exhausting. I mean, caregivers are very warm people. But I think that I grew up watching my mother be very generous with my elders, her elders, aunts, uncles, and all that. And it was just something I love. I love elderly. I love people. I love to banter with those boys. I'm telling you, they're just so much fun. It's great. So yes, sorry. Yeah, I like it, but I think I grew up in it, and that's what brought me a full bore. God's
Well, I
preparing.
want to let the audience know that down in the comments, we're going to put your email so that people can
Good,
connect with you.
good.
And, if you have somewhere that you want to talk with Kate for yourself, or you have a group that you think Kate would bring great value to, which I know she will with her wisdom and experience on many facets, all the way from hiring caregivers to living through it as a caregiver.
Yeah.
Um, I think it gives you a really well-rounded perspective on the whole situation.
And the
And
bottom line that I didn't speak of is when they get our book and they read my chapter, they're going to hear about one time in my life that took every ounce of me to stay sane. So look forward to that chapter, babe. Yeah.
it's quite powerful. It's quite powerful. I'm grateful that you played this part in life so that I didn't have to.
Well, you know what? I thank you for this opportunity because thinking that I had grown in mental illness and with mental illness and admiring the strength of both of my daughters in their own worlds, I can't thank you enough for letting me grow in this chapter with you. So here's to you, Beba.
So, two things before we go.
Yeah.
One is, what would you say to somebody who may be thinking about being an author and maybe sitting on the sideline?
I was with you. And I think that to take the risk that when you sit back and you think, well, what do I have to say and how do I start and what does it happen? You just have to keep drawing into it. And with the um, group that you put together and Nicolette, boy, the words just flowed. And the more you read and the more it took me, a long time to throw it in the wastebasket and bring it back out. I think it was the most engaging moment outside of my life and mental illness to have for me, solely for me. So go get them. Be an
That's
author.
beautiful.
Be an author. Start small, jump into it. Be an author.
It
You know what?
is.
I think that's it. Start, I told you I started to write a book and it was just overwhelming. But to do a chapter and be an author, you really get into I can write, I can share a story, that kind of thing. It's fun.
Well, and I think one of the challenging things about it too is narrowing it down because
Yeah.
we've all had a plethora of experiences in our life. So to try to to try to focus it down, I
Just
think could
hone
be a
in on that
challenge.
one thing. Yep. Just honing in on that
Yeah.
one thing. Yep.
But we do have a lot of support and training.
It's
So you're
great.
doing this with a group of people. And if you want to stay tuned, we're going to be having our author summit, our digital launch date coming up in a few weeks here. So if you want to hear about it, there'll be a link where you can get emails to stay up to date about the authors and about what will be coming up next and when the launch will be for the book. So I invite you to do that. But
And I'm going to
before we
say
go ahead.
it's a wonderful moment for yourself. We're all talking about how to get back and how to find a place that there's a purpose and etc. I'm telling you, it's a wonderful moment to come into this group with and invest in yourself with their training. It's just tops. I can't tell you enough. Thank you enough.
Well, thank you. And we're just getting warmed up.
Yeah.
We're because this is a 5-year series. So
Yeah.
this is
Mhm.
this is just we're just feeling it out and it's going so beautiful. And even Kate doesn't know some of the things that have come to light in the last 3 days for
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
that I keep getting to add to the treasure chest of not just writing your chapter and being published and one and done and that's it. No, there is coaching. There is I'm going to be along the ride with you for the next 12 months and lots of opportunities to get your name and your services and your gifts out to the world. So look for that.
All
But
right.
before we go,
Mhm.
what are some parting words of wisdom you would like to share with us today?
That there is a God, a higher power, whatever that is in your life, know and trust it. Trust in yourself, that's the gut, but trust that someone is there looking out for you. And every moment that you have in a day is taking you to a place that you're supposed to be down the road.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, Kate, I'm so excited that you're here and I'm excited about what's to come and all the things coming up.
I'm
It's
going to
going to
tell
be
you,
a fun journey.
I'm really excited to meet all of the people that we're going to meet together and independently because this is just, it's the world, and the world is coming into the best place we've got. And it's meeting and greeting each other and welcoming each other. So thank you.
You bet.